Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're having a great week. Hope it's a great day. It's sunny here today, a little warmer than it has been. So yeah, it's a great day. This week I had somebody ask some questions about life insurance, and so I thought with that request that would be something that we would kind of go over today. I will start this off by saying there's so much more to life insurance than just the 7 or 8 minutes or 10 minutes that we're going to talk today. So use this as a jumping off point of basically, if this is something that you've thought about or you're interested in or something that you've put off, like use these questions to kind of have a conversation with your significant other, with whoever, and then somebody like myself to kind of go over it, right? So in my thing this week, I talked about, or my little teaser there talked about like who's life insurance for, what are some types, and how much do you need? Who is life insurance for? The short, we'll call it salesman answer that I should say is everybody, right? But in all seriousness, anybody could need or benefit from some life insurance, or anybody that would say, hey, I don't want anybody to have to struggle or worry about anything after I pass away. And that could be, a family member that's going to have to take care of anything that you might have if you're single, or in the case of myself and my wife, we have a home and kids, and if something was to happen to either one of us, we would want to make sure the other one is taken care of. So what are the types of life insurance? We'll talk about two. There are so many different products and things like that, but if we were to break it down to the two most simple, it is, term and whole life, right? Term is a insurance policy that we have a dollar amount and we have a term, and we are paying the same amount, whether it's monthly or yearly, for that term or that period of time. You don't have to stop the policy after that term amount. So if it's a 20-year term, in the 21st year you can keep it, but it's not going to be the same price. It is going to go up, and in the policy you would know that. It's not that it would be a surprise. You would know the amount. Whole life is a policy that you can have for your whole life, and it does accrue some cash value, but they are much more expensive. And to give you an example, if I was to do a $250,000 policy on myself right now, just a very simple quote, it would be about 20-year term would be about $93 a month, or about $1,100 a year. If I was to do a whole life policy and have it be where I would pay for 20 years, which again, there's all different products, it would be about $6,200 a year. So you can see there's a huge difference in that. So for a lot of people, term is more affordable, and we can use it in a way to whatever the need is, we can make sure we cover you for that period of time, so that hopefully outside of that term that you wouldn't need as much, or that the need would be different, right? Because at different points of your life, the need might be a little different. So the last question, and these will be more hypothetical, and I'll use myself for an example, is how much, right? Well, there is no right or wrong answer to that, right? Some is better than none, right? If you do a quick Google search, people will tell you need 10 times, or 10 times your yearly this. I don't adhere or believe in that necessarily. I think it is a conversation that needs to be had between your significant other, the people, and your agent of, okay, what are we trying to do? What's the goal of this, right? And what does that entail, right? If you have kids, how old are your kids? Do we want to put money away for them? What debt and things do you have, right? And how can that money be used, right? Do we want it in a lump sum, or are you able to take it and give it to somebody to save, and then that be able to generate income or be able to use monthly or something? So there's no one right or wrong way to, figure that out, right? So the first question would be like, what are you protecting? What are your goals with it, right? And from there, what do you want, right? A good example I will use, right, and I'm, not shy to say this, but as it would pertain to, especially around our house, I do less than my wife does, right? So as I joke with people, I magically dirty clothes and they magically appear clean in the basement for me to take upstairs. And I don't pay for that, right? But if something was to happen to my wife, am I gonna do that, or am I gonna pay somebody to do that? So just because somebody's not making money necessarily, right? Like there's things that both of you would do that need to be done, right? And that might cost money, right? Well, whether it's childcare or whether it's anything like that, right? If you're not gonna have time to cut the grass or whatever, so you're gonna have to pay somebody to do some of those things. So just because somebody is not earning money doesn't necessarily mean they need any less or any more life insurance than the other person. It's something that as a whole, you would like to sit down and talk about and say, okay, hey, what do we need? What are our bills and things like that, right? So I would say to somebody, don't discount what each other do, and that's all something that is important, to talk about, right? Also, too, what are the long-term needs and goals, right? And to be flexible with that, right? If today is X, it's important to meet with somebody, for us to meet and go over that, because maybe every 2, 3, or 4 years, does something change? Maybe you need a little more life insurance. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to buy a whole new policy for a big amount, but maybe we need something a little more to just take care of a period of time or something like that, right? Or do plans change? Have somebody different debt, or we move things around, or all these different things that could come into play are important to think about in this. So to kind of bring it all together for this week, like I said, this is something that there isn't one right or wrong answer. You can go online and find 25 different things that you can put in and figure out how much somebody could think that you have. But A, is that an affordable option, right? Do you want to spend that much money on that? And B, because we don't want to take from now for something that might happen, right? So we want to kind of tread that line of, preparing, but not, over preparing, if we should, or overspending. And to have a conversation about, okay, what do we have? What do we want to protect? What are we most worried about, right? And then look at what the cost of different amounts is, different terms, different things, and then use that to kind of get a good idea of a budget and, go from there. So I hope everybody has a great week and a good weekend. If you have any questions on this or want to talk about it any further, please hit me up on DM or shoot me an email, anything like that. I'd love to talk about it, and I hope everybody has a great week. Thanks so much.